Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the second trial is about to begin. Why was Chihiro murdered? Is the killer hiding within the group? Is there any help to be found in this series of murders? I wonder. So I don't have a lot of skills to work with, to be honest. I got vocabulary, increases bullet capacity. That's only helpful during the bullet time battle, which appears at the end of the trial. So it doesn't really help me. And the bullet time battle isn't really that challenging either. It's just a rhythm battle, right? Increases damage, that's a bullet time battle. The only thing that'll help me in the trial is, during the debates, is this robot jock, which increases my rate of fire. And, man, I should talk to more people, huh? Alright. Enough lollygag. I should go over what we have so far. Okay, so, Monokuma file. Victim was Chihiro. Time of death, 2 AM. Body was discovered in the girls' locker room on the second floor. Blow to the head with a blunt object, killed instantly. Although Chihiro wanted to get stronger, she declined several invitations from Sakura and Aoi and may have used the locker room late at night to avoid them. Despite this, Chihiro had stated that she desired help with her efforts. She may have been meeting someone in the locker room the night she was murdered. The dumbbell found on the floor of the girls' locker room had a significant amount of blood on it. Chihiro had told anyone willing to listen that she wanted to get stronger. Some assumed that due to her inferiority complex about being weak, she admired strength more than anything else. To unlock a locker room, you need to swipe your e-handbook over the card reader. You need a male student's handbook for the boys' locker room and a female student's for the girls. It is not possible for two people to enter at the same time. Additionally, lending someone your handbook is a violation of school regulations. Handbook of each student that has died is placed in the mailbox in the main hall. Now, it is perfectly fine to use dead students' handbooks, because that doesn't count as lending. One of the handbooks found in the main hall had been broken, which is apparently a rare occurrence. Junko and Sayaka's handbooks both seem to still work, so it is assumed that the broken handbook is Leon's. However, Monokuma claims that it's very unlikely that Leon's handbook would have broken. So it could have been Chihiro's, and because she's like a computer hacker, she probably found a way to disable hers. Although I'm not sure why or what basis that would be founded on. Suspected genocide jack victims include Ken Harada, Tetsuhiro Honda, and Shoji Gaku, among countless others. They were killed in the same way and mounted to a nearby wall. The word bloodlust was found at the scene of each crime, written in blood. Profiling indicates the killer is likely a student suffering from a split personality. I feel like the game really wants me to believe that it is Toko, but there's a few factors that I'm really hesitant on. Chihiro seems to have consciously kept her distance from the other girls at the school, even from the beginning. Meanwhile, it had been noticed that she got along remarkably well with her male classmates. Carpet in the boys' locker room was found with a blackish stain on it. See, that's supposed to be Sakura's protein coffee, but yeah, I'm not sure how exactly that whole element is supposed to work. Blood was found in the poster in the girls' locker room. The poster featured a big-breasted supermodel popular among young boys. Meanwhile, the poster in the boys' locker room was for a boy band popular with teenage girls. Now, just because something is popular with a certain demographic doesn't mean that a small selection of people will follow that, right? These people could be the exception to that rule. You never know. Chihiro's handbook was not found on her corpse and has apparently gone missing. Chihiro's body had been suspended and her hands had been bound with some kind of rope. Her fatal injury was a blow to the head. Sakura mentioned that she was responsible for a coffee stain on the girls' locker room floor. However, the stain had since been inexplicably scrubbed away. Sakura is getting more and more suspicious, because if she's the only one that knows about this the stain, why would it be in the boys' locker room? Byakuya was known to use this lamp often. However, the extension cord had gone missing at some point and the lamp's cord couldn't quite reach the outlet. I feel like there's more details I could have extracted for these entries, but I didn't have enough time, or I didn't allocate my time correctly. On the night of the murder, right before nighttime, Chihiro was spotted leaving the... Okay, nighttime is at 10 PM. Chihiro was killed at 2 AM. There's a big time lapse there. It seems she was stuffing some blue exercise clothes into a duffel bag. Presumably she was on her way to exercise, but the clothes were not found at the crime scene. Celeste had not told anyone other than Makoto about this encounter. Why are you keeping this to yourself? That's everything we have. Let's get to the trial, see how hard I get my ass kicked.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
But I already know how a class trial works.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
Ooh, you're raring to go, my friend. First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
How do I shoot?
Interesting.
Gah!
That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Poor Chihiro.
Alright, failed the first one miserably. Good. Awesome.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
Wrong? Good.
Shoot!
Didn't I shoot the third one?
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
I'm not denying that.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
I swear to God I hit that sentence.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime?
I don't know what kind of killer would be dumb enough to leave the murder weapon at the scene of the crime, but yes.
It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell.
You looked at her head? Good for you.
As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Hey man, it's an investigation. Anything goes.
Yes! That's so creepy!
How have... Okay.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
Oh, you're just moving forward with it? You're gonna say it's Genocide Jack?
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Okay, so who is it? Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? A new... What? Lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your... Great, so I actually have to aim now. But there's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the A button to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease, so take careful aim when you have your silencer out. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, the white noise won't appear at all. Maybe I should have set that to gentle. In which case you can forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. Okay, let's see how much of a distraction this white noise is.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Oh, you son. Alright.
Hey, so, speaking of Genocide Jack, I I don't know who that is!
Okay, again.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
No, it's wrong.
You have to be quick on those. You have to be quick on the draw.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now.
Okay, Illuminati boy.
More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
I'm sorry, I'm a 12-year-old.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
Okay, I have a problem with the Genocide Jack theory. Genocide Jack used scissors to kill people. Chihiro's killer used a dumbbell. Has to do with the positioning of the body. You're telling me the answer.
I got it!
Are you for real?
Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of.
It was probably you, Byakuya. You're probably the killer.
It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
I mean, you're all freakazoids. It could be true.
Yes. In fact, it's Toko.
You're just jumping straight to it, man. You're just jumping straight to it. I love you. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna take a break here. All right. Let's go.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
Could you just solve this case for me?
You lie!
Why are you so opposed to this?
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has, like, bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle? Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. It's the multiple personality, yeah. So what's my proof for this? Oh, this is a different game mode. Oh, the first letter. I'm not sure what this is supposed to spell out. What's the first letter? No? It was S? Really? I'm a bit stupid, I'm sorry. Schizo. I'm a retard, I'm sorry.
Now I understand. Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
Her behavior changed. No, that's not right. Okay, alright. I lost something for this. I'm gonna fail this case, man. I'm gonna fail this case.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
It is quite
It's acting
concerning.
Funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm.
I wouldn't call that utterly calm. I would call that pretty nuts.
In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can.
Okay, you're sweating and everything over here, right? So, are you...
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
Won't let Genocide Jack have control. See, that's very, very... Okay, alright. So people who have split personalities, are they aware that they have split personalities? I neglected to research this when I was editing. So, is Toko aware that she has the Genocide Jack personality within her? That's a good question here.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
She enjoys all the killing.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
I knew it. They had like some sort of secret talk before all this.
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story.
Thank you for leaving this element out for the entire investigation, and leading me on in a very strange direction. It's almost as if you're taking over this case instead of me. What do I have to do?
She said, a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time.
Okay, so she's aware of this personality, got it.
And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
So now the question is, what triggered this eruption of this personality? What caused Toko to switch into Genocide Jack and kill Chihiro of all people? What was this? What were the pieces behind this puzzle? I don't know.
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised! I can't believe you lied!
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise...
Yeah, I did note that down. She did say our promise. Never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again. Now, Monokuma did specify that up to 2 people can be killed per term.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me.
Oh, Byakuya, you ever the manipulative bastard.
That's the isn't, I promised!
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried! I swear I tried to control it, but...
She's just straight up admitting she's the murderer. Is this gonna be like a unanimous verdict at the end, or is someone gonna combat me?
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't mean...
Her voice actress does a very, very, very good job. Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom. But in the next second...
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
I get it, Jack and Jill, you're very creative there.
What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do?
See, ever since I saw that act, that little show, or no, the conversation between Toko and Byakuya, I had it in the back of my mind. I kinda knew all along, but I was trying to convince myself that it was someone else because, you know, Danganronpa's very deceptive.
I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
My sentiments exactly.
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
She's so intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know.
That's what you meant by the front and back thing. Okay, I get you.
Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
This is the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane!
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
And she's all nonchalant, I love it.
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds!
Really? This is a revelation.
Just kidding!
Thought so.
Then it's not true?
Okay. First of all, split personality. Okay, so she couldn't really carry that personality and cook up all this elaborate setup just for fun. I don't believe she could do that, because her normal, quote-unquote normal personality is Toko the writer. She just slips into this when she feels like killing. I don't think she can maintain this personality. I don't believe that's possible.
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid!
I know, right? Preposterous.
And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
Now, who's gonna step up and say, no, there's no way that can be right?
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed.
Well, now I feel like a dumbass. That must have been on her card, that she was Genocide Jack. I get you. I getcha. And then before that information was revealed, Toko was like, "Yo, Byakuya, I'm Genocide Jack. I'm sorry."
Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
And yet she adopted the Genocide Jack personality and straight up killed someone in the same style. I mean, if you... Okay, alright, I'm just gonna stop now.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Again, deceiving me at every corner.
Huh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
So who else is a fan of Genocide Jack?
Maybe so, but nevertheless it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster!
Maybe. Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said. I need to get some more details about all this. Alrighty. Status of the dead The scissors! The scissors! It's the scissors, I tell you!
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
It doesn't match completely, buddy.
No, that's wrong. Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that.
See, you gotta pay attention.
I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
Okay, so since she's Genocide Jack, she would have known the modus operandi for murders, okay? So she could have been an accomplice in the murder, and someone else would have had to be the murderer.
I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using Ragu or Chef Boyardee.
Oh god, you're killing me. That's preposterous.
This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that, in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
It's the scissors. It's the scissors.
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
And who would be strong enough to wield a dumbbell as a weapon? Huh? Huh?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method?
Sakura uses the gym in the afternoon. Okay? Chihiro is very fond of males. Mondo is very soft on Chihiro. Huh? Huh? You see what I'm getting at? Yeah? Could it be?
And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right! In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce!
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
How she was suspended? Oh yeah, the rope. What was used to suspend her? I'm good, I'm getting health back.
Remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use.
Your tongue is abnormally large.
And you know what else? Big Mac said there's 2 differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case.
Males. Males! Wow. Okay, I thought I was brilliant with the scissors, but I totally didn't notice that they were all males.
There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
There was a pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victims, and Chihiro didn't fit it. If you look at the names of every victim, what you'll notice is... I know why she couldn't have killed Chihiro.
I got it!
Because she was a girl.
Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Man, it's going on 31 minutes. I don't know where to stop it. It's just going and going and going.
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Yeah, these are all guys.
They were all... guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men!
Well, they weren't all little. There was one 32-year-old guy. Unless he was a bit short, but you know.
I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl! And the mopey side of me just hates it!
So that's where oh god, okay, yeah, there is an anime trope where there's a character that loves BL. I guess this is where that trope comes in.
But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
What?
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Listen, there's a pattern to these things, you know? Serial killers don't just choose random people.
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it.
Oh, and I think I'll leave that to the next part. Thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry I have to cut it here, but you know, I want to split this into 2 parts so you don't die trying to watch the entire trial, exciting as it is. Danganronpa is available on Steam and Vita for $30. The sequel, Goodbye Despair, is also available on Steam and Vita for $30. Please pick them up. They're very engaging and very heart-pumping stories. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Toodaloo.